This is my message to the college football playoffs. Can y'all please let us in? Can y'all please let us in? Cause I got a point to prove. And we got a point to prove. And he has a point to prove.
You feel like you guys should be in the playoff?
I don't even know right now. I think if we got in, we would give, one heck of a fight. And I think, our competitiveness would take over and things of that sort. But I don't know. I wanted that one really bad.
Stevie Lee. Easy night. We got the Dallas Cowboys. You've got your favorite show. Series is the new season of Yellowstone, and we just saw two extreme sides of emotions.
Yeah,
I love the emotion. Yeah, that guy Max Duggan for TCU. I don't know how much you saw that, but that guy left his heart on that field at Jerry World. Well, the Cowboys are playing the Colts right now.
right. He put his team on his back. When he made that, when he pulled it down and made that, was that 25-yard run for the first down?
Jeez,
I looked at my wife. I was like, he's putting his team on his back right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the one thing that I can say bad about TCU is an unpopular opinion is their coach is going to mess around and shoot themselves in the foot. Their coach and their coaching style and coaching staff is gonna catch up with them. So that whole thing, it was amazing against Baylor, running another play and running the remember in Baylor they had a timeout they could have used.
Yep.
And they could have thrown the ball, had a incomplete pass, or even spiked the ball for them to run out and or to walk out and actually have a good look at a field goal instead of running a play and having to run out and just put the ball down and kick the field goal. That's rushing your kicker.
Yeah.
That's what he chose to do. And in this game, they chose to go for it on fourth down.
And didn't use him.
And then what?
They didn't use him.
Didn't use him. It went for it on 4th and 1. When all you need, you really should kick the field goal right there.
Yeah.
They go for 4th and 1. Did not use the man that got you there. They didn't dance with who brought you.
Come on,
right?
Daryl.
Exactly. Exactly. And they didn't dance with who brought them. And they chose to go for it instead of kicking the field goal. That's all on the coaching. That kid left his heart on that field, and his coach didn't have his back.
That's
what I mean?
Fair assessment.
So TCU deserves to be in the college playoffs because we are in the Big 12.
Yeah,
and the Big 12 has proven to be the best conference.
Well, some disagree with you and me. And
Do what? Some people disagree.
So, we'll get into that here shortly. I'm going to name somebody you know very well who disagrees with you and I.
Okay.
Maybe he tweeted it just to get clicks, but before the top of this show, you saw that, and that was funny. T-Pain would be very proud of the Alabama Crimson Tide for using the auto-tune on that. Please
Yes.
get us in the CFP, the Alabama Crimson Tide.
We got something to prove.
And Bryce Young over there in his locker laughing.
Yeah.
But I don't want to ruin it. Everybody knows it by the time you've seen this episode, but Stevie's got a lot to say, and I love hearing Stevie's opinion, and so does Coach Ab and everybody with Hargrove Roofing, because Stevie knows who's on his roof. I know who's on my roof whenever they're out.
I got a fun story. I was putting up Christmas lights. I have a 2-story home. And by the time you get on the roof of a 2-story home, you're basically 3 stories up.
Yes.
So I go onto the peak of my roof is peaked like this. And then I have a driveway that slopes down. So you look like you're 5 stories up there. So I'm crawling up the side right here, putting Christmas lights up underneath the shingles. And I get to the very top right there. And then I have to go back down on this side. Well, I got to the top and I said, you know what? Let me call Coach Al. See if he got some guys that can come up here and finish these lights for me, because I sure don't want to fall. I got to raise 2 girls. I got a lot of stuff to do. And what am I doing this for?
Yeah.
Exactly. So I called him while I was on the roof up there, and I was like, man, hey, I left him a message. I said, man, I need some help. He called me right back. He said, get off the roof, man. I got some guys. I got some guys for you. The next day, he sent a crew over to finish my lights, man.
No.
I knew who was on my roof.
What roofing company would do that?
It's
I don't know.
Friend.
Except
I probably shouldn't put this out there because everybody's going to call him for Christmas lights now, not roof.
Can you do our Christmas lights? Stevie, I'm really proud of you, because you don't want to end up like Clark W. Griswold on Christmas vacation.
No, not at all, man. But when I got up on the very, very top, I was like, man, I'm too big for this. I just need to get down. And so he got a crew out there, helped me out, man. So shout out to my guys over at Hargrove Roofing. I know who's on my roof. Know who's on yours. Yeah.
This is your final CFP rankings for this year, as far as before what determines who goes where. No shocker. TCU had an exhale of relief as they were watching this. I think we knew by last night, when you look at all the elements, that number one, you can't put a 2-loss team in there. There's no reason to. Ohio State had 1 loss, although they got destroyed at home to Michigan. So I think 1 and 2 are in a class of their own. Then it's 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Alabama, it's been a while.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a while. Now Tennessee right there. I don't know why people are still clamoring to Clemson. This was a rebuilding year for Clemson.
Yeah.
Period. I don't know why everybody didn't think that was going to happen.
Right.
But this 4, do you have any issues with those 4? I don't.
So is it 1 playing 4 and then 2 and 3 playing each other?
Right. Yes.
Yeah. The only issue I have is Michigan already played Ohio State. And that was recent.
Yeah.
That was a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
And so Alabama's not Alabama right now. But I got Tennessee, but Tennessee is a 2-loss team.
I think so, yeah.
But Tennessee's been rolling,
Yeah, they just had a back half of their season they took some L's.
Yeah. but we see Michigan and Ohio State already. So the winner of the Michigan-Ohio State game should be in the top 4, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if I put Ohio State in there.
I know that's debatable. That's a fair debate. I mean, I value your opinion. A lot of people will and do. It's just that was Ohio State's 1 loss. You can't penalize them. You can. It's just it depends how you look at it, really.
It's just that we've seen that story already. We watched that movie.
Yeah,
and we know how it comes out. So we gotta make a different plot, So yeah.
Well, it's like Georgia and Alabama. You know, we saw them in the SEC championship last year. Alabama beat them, and then they rematched in the national championship, and Georgia got them. However, not taking anything away from Georgia, but Alabama had some injuries going into that national title game, if you remember.
Yeah.
I'm not going backwards.
Okay. I don't know why you brought it up then.
Well, just the fact that those rematches, they do happen.
No, I know what you mean, but I don't know, man. I it's a tough decision, and I accept the 4.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, we watched that movie already. Let's see if we can stir up another plot.
Your boy Chris Sims. I think he's a good guy. I don't really know Chris that well. I really don't. He tweeted this: TCU in the CFP. The Big 12 sucks, and I played in the Big 12. I know what the resumes are, but the middle of the class of the SEC would win the Big 12. Is that Chris, or is he doing that for clickbait?
It's Chris, but when's the last time he actually was here at the University of Texas and doing commentating or anything of that matter for college football? He does NFL.
Yeah.
Right? And like I said earlier this season, the Big 12 is good and it cannibalizes itself. We are good. And I told you last week, the Big 12 is good, but everyone wants to talk about the SEC being so great. Yeah, in the top 6, they got what, 3 teams in the top 6?
Well, yeah.
But it drops off way down after that.
Correct.
Correct. So
well,
as a whole, you look at the Big 12, we're pretty good across the board.
Top to yeah.
So
you're going to get a game from the bottom feeder being Iowa State or Oklahoma to an extent. I can't believe I said that. Even from Oklahoma, it's just one of those years. So I just didn't know what you thought about that. I just was shocked that he said that.
If I was in his face, I would argue with him up and down all day long. About it.
Yeah, I didn't understand it. It was very. Listen, I don't know Chris. I think some of the hatred or criticism of him is unjust. Thought he was a pretty good quarterback. Look at the numbers.
Yeah, and he didn't play in a Big 12. Hadn't been around this region of the country since he left college.
Yeah.
He didn't play in a Big 12 when there was a TCU in it, Big 12.
Yeah. Well, he did play against a good Oklahoma, good Nebraska, good A&M. Texas Tech was good, pretty good. Iowa State was salty. They weren't great.
Yeah.
Kansas State, come on now.
Yeah.
You're going to tell me the Big 12 was good back then?
Yeah, absolutely.
Baylor was terrible.
Baylor was terrible.
They were
shit. W for us, but then we had to the defense. We had to figure out Seneca Wallace up at Iowa State.
Oh my God, that's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Yeah, so there were some good teams and good individual players. We had to figure out at K-State, Darren Sproles.
Right. He's the mentor of the current back that we're about to talk about.
Absolutely.
So these are the matchups. Obviously, the 1 versus 4 will be played at the Peach Bowl in Atlanta. 2 versus 3 being Michigan, and TCU will be at the Fiesta Bowl. And man, the Fiesta Bowl accommodations are phenomenal at Camelback Inn. Love it. Hike that mountain twice. Phenomenal. That's back when I was fat. But kind of. But it's a great place. So congrats, man, to the Frogs. We're about to talk about you a little bit more.
There you go.
I think we can go ahead and as we dive into this K-State talk, let's just see this one certain run from one young man from right here and just see him moments after the game when the emotions were raw.
Vaughn gets the edge. Deuce Vaughn in the clear. Can he make a man miss? And it's easy. Touchdown, Kansas State.
Man, we feel like we're on top of the world right now. Man, we embarked on a journey to come and do this 12 months ago as a football team. And battled through a lot of adversity. We persevered through a lot of things, and we came out here and we did what we had to do.
Yeah.
They beat TCU. TCU did not do the things late that they should have done, but Deuce and K-State, they are well conditioned. They're a well conditioned machine. They just keep coming after you.
Well conditioned and well coached, disciplined. They're a very, very disciplined team, and they know who their star is. I don't like using bell cow much anymore.
Yeah,
but their bell cow is Deuce, and they put the game in his hands, and he took it all the way home. That run, when he made that move and juke to the outside and then cut inside, it was 3 guys out there, but no one was within 5 yards of the kid. That's special, man. He's gonna do big things down the road too.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
And that's really cool, and it'll be fun. They get to go to another city, and we'll get to that a big time bowl game. I'm just so proud. I mean, honestly, that's great for the Big 12. I think honestly, because now you got two. They're getting some prime time there at K-State, and they've done it. So, Pac-12. Do you remember Pac-12 championship? Of course, the Utes literally KO'd USC when they got to Caleb Williams, the pass rush. I'll start out with your defensive side. It was like chum in the water. It was like they got to him once. They figured it out in the second quarter. What did you see? Because I felt like even though they were about to tie that game, which they did in the second quarter, I felt it was over with then.
Yeah. Something about Lincoln Riley's quarterbacks that get antsy once you get around them. Rattler did the same thing when we played him up in Dallas. But once you get around his feet or get to him, hit him in the mouth a couple times, he can fold like a lawn chair, right? So it was fun to watch. I'm a little salty with Lincoln Riley and Caleb and all these guys. Even though I have a rivalry with OU, the way they left those kids was shitty. So
horrible.
Yeah. So tore that whole program apart. And you can see what happened this year. We beat them 49-0, and then they got beat again by Oklahoma State. Well, what was that score? Was that 40-something-0 as well?
It wasn't. I don't think it was a shutout. No, OU beat them.
OU beat them. No, it was someone else.
Yeah, they had
back-to-back shutouts, didn't they?
Yeah, that's a good question. All I know is they've had 6 losses, I think.
Yeah. So I don't like the way Lincoln did that and then depleted the whole team and all that stuff. But and then the way, it's even bad the way Stoops left them, So Bob Stoops. So I don't know, man. It kind of made me smile a little bit for them losing. I'm not gonna lie.
I love it.
And it's USC,
Yeah, that's part of it. I guarantee you, there's some Longhorn fans who are anti-USC, and I think the Sooner Nation, Longhorn Nation have merged in some ways.
That could be me being petty as well. So
you're not the only one on that. So after that game, what I found very amusing was I want to say it was a New York print media reporter. Yeah. Because if you remember, so when Utah Rising, the former Longhorn quarterback, who is the QB for the Utes, who took a monster hit early in the game and got back up. Mm-hmm. So he hit that tight end, I believe it was 87. Tight end, great reception, somehow finagled his way, got out of a tackle. He I think it was McCutcheon from LBJ here in Austin made the mistake of not tackling him, instead body him and try to strip the ball. Well, that tight end made him look silly, just embarrassed him because I saw what he was doing, but you can't do that to a big guy like that. So Lincoln was asked the question, do you teach stripping the ball before tackling?
Is that something you teach?
To take the ball away?
To take the ball away first rather than tackle?
I don't know that I'm going to justify that question with an answer.
I don't know, man.
I mean, it could have been asked differently.
It could have been, but as a football player, football coach, you're going to run into reporters, and it sounds like, honestly, and I could be wrong, because you're a part of that group,
right?
You are a part of that group. I don't know if the person asking the question was a football person. You know what I mean? Like asking that question. If you have a chance to ask Lincoln Riley a question during a loss right after the game, that's not the question you ask. If you're a football person, then you start asking like real football questions on, what was your game plan like going in, and how much did you have to deviate from the game? Like things like that. You ask those questions if you're a real football person. This person was probably watching one game, saw one play on the TV, and said, I'm going to ask that question right there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't do much research in the game. So I'm actually going to blame the reporter. You might not like this.
No, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, it doesn't bother you? Okay, because you were one of them. I don't know.
I was under that umbrella.
You were under that umbrella. Yeah, you're a part of that. You're cut from that cloth. So I'm actually going to blame the reporter for framing the question like that and asking that question when there was a whole 100 other questions that he could have asked.
Right. Yep.
The USC head coach. So
here's what I think happened on that. I think he saw a lot of people on social media dictating to him what he should ask. Like, meaning he saw a lot of people talking about the inability to tackle.
Yeah.
Because Grinch, the DC, was the DC at OU, and they had those same issues, like coming up and bodying people. But
he needs to say that, though. Yeah. Say that, though. So we remember when you were at USC, there were some tackling issues at USC as well. I think that from what it seems like when we watch your games, your players are going for the ball before going for the tackle. Is that something that you guys teach?
Yep. That's a good
Did I just do that correctly? So can I get my media credentials so I can go to
you have a future, Stevie. It's never too late. So Caleb Williams, I think dating back to OU to now, all of his opponents, it says FU or FUCK, the opponent.
He did that all the way back when he was at OU?
Huh?
He did that all the way back when he was at OU?
I'm not sure, but I think he did. I can't confirm it. I think. But so they asked the former – listen, they on the podium, they had two former Longhorns on the podium for Utah. That being Jaquindon Jackson, who was that dual threat badass quarterback from Duncanville, RPO king, transferred out. He puts both him and they have a package, him and Rising in the backfield together.
Wow. And
Jaquindon broke off for a long touchdown. And that pretty much knocked the door and slapped Lincoln right in the face and said, "You're done, bitch." That's what he said. So this was Cam and Jaquindon. This was funny. They didn't know what the reporter was talking about because he was trying to talk about the painted fingernails. This is what was said.
That
He had what?
a swear word, and then on one hand, and then Utah on the other. Do you guys have any response to that? Any reaction to him doing that?
It said Utah on there.
That's cute.
Don't give. It is what it is. You know, you can do whatever you want. Put whatever you want on your nails. I'm not going to judge you for whatever you do. But yeah, hope you liked it.
Hope you liked it. Wow. That's good stuff, man.
Oh my God, love it, Jaquindon. That's cute. Love it.
That's cute.
That's cute. I'd love to have both of them here.
Yeah.
But modern era, man, be proud of them.
Yeah.
Go succeed. It was
Yeah.
fun, Stevie. There were a lot of former Horns on social media praising him on Cam
It's good stuff.
and Jaquindon. And it's pretty impressive. It really is.
It is.
Hey, real quick, Last Stand hats. These are some examples. That's the OG. Mike Murphy's the symbol for his grandfather. That's when he started the business. Got that one.
There you go.
DBU, baby.
DBU.
These are all just a few examples. He sells polos too. Use the promo code, one word, all lowercase, ManCave10 for 10% off. All right.
Awesome.
We're getting to the good stuff, baby. Alamo Bowl. Texas has never been there before. They're playing Washington.
Well, it's our second home game, you know?
Second home. Usually it's a good outcome. Steve Sarkisian, this will be a matchup with one of his former employers. This is actually a good game. And I don't want to get overly ambitious or hype up the fan base, Stevie, but am I wrong? Or what do you think about me making this statement? They're going to treat them like they did Utah 2 years ago, and it's not going to be close.
Ooh. From your lips to God's ears. I don't know, man. I got to really think about that. You know,
I mean,
it just came out for me, so I got to think about it.
Yeah.
The
Pac-12's garbage, and I may eat my words here in about a month.
No, I believe that. But, you know, it also depends on which Texas shows up. You know?
This NFL draft eligible player skipping the bowl game. I don't have a problem with that.
I don't have a problem with it either. I applaud them for playing.
Yeah.
But you got to make a business decision.
Yeah.
You know? And it's a real one, you know. People are, you know, start questioning their heart and things like that. No. These guys got money to make, and they need to go get it. That's going to set them up for the rest of their lives.
100%.
Yeah. So, but in the same breath, we would like to see them play. You know, I have a teammate that probably should have sat out the bowl game, and ended up getting hurt and never played another down again.
Who was it? I can't remember.
Hodges Mitchell.
Oh, great running back.
Yeah. Yeah. Got hurt in the bowl game.
Cotton?
Against LSU.
Oh, that was a Cotton Bowl, yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that.
I think, was it? I'll have to check on it, what game it was, but got hurt in the bowl game. Tore his knee up.
Great guy.
You know? But he was on his way, you know, to we don't know what kind of draft pick he would have been, but he was on his way from getting drafted to end up not ever playing again. You know what I'm saying? So don't play in the game.
Yeah.
I would love to see Bijan run the ball again with Texas cross his chest. But do I expect him to do it? No.
No. And Roshan probably will not. I don't know.
Right. So,
but they got enough running backs.
Yeah. If you are one of those prospects that are not going to play in the senior game, then don't play in the bowl game either. No. You know?
I get it. I'm with you on that.
So, and it sucks because I want to see these guys play. I want to see them all
too.
play. But it depends on, you know, who's on the field, how we're going to do against Washington. Yeah. But it's also a preview of what we got for next year.
I love that because you remind me. Until you brought that up 2 or 3 weeks ago, I had never thought about bowl games that way. Just a reminder that you can find us as well. Tell your friends, tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your cousins, your step parents, your adopted, your bio parents. Tell everybody, share it. You can also watch our podcast, Stories Inside the Man Cave podcast, all of the series. If you go to the Horn FM, 1049 The Horn FM's app or online in the web on a website, click down to podcast, click it. There we are. It goes right to our YouTube page. I have not promoted that enough. All right, Steve, we're going to close out the first segment. It's going to show you some notable bowl games. This is a fun time of year. It's kind of like the revealing of the March Madness brackets.
Yep.
I love it. Now, I'm not going to show you all of them. There's a lot of garbage bowl games out there, but that's the beauty of this month. Bowl games, I love watching, like you, college football regardless. So I want to take this off. There's some notable games, too, who the majority of the viewers and listeners of this podcast have interest in. It's a lot. And we'll begin with the little ones, the smaller bowl games, Armed Forces, Baylor and Air Force. A drastic difference in, if I remember right, Air Force still triple option.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
They're playing in Fort Worth, which would be good for Baylor.
Right.
Guaranteed rate. This is a big one, man. Oklahoma State and Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I mean,
where's that at?
Guaranteed rate ball. I want to say it's out in the desert. Let me look.
Is that's not UTEP? I mean, in El Paso, right?
No, I think that's still the Sun Bowl.
Sun Bowl.
Guaranteed. Let's see, which is a great scene for college football. Guaranteed rate bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Never heard of it. Oh, it's in Arizona.
Okay.
Oh, it's in Phoenix.
Okay. I got a question, though.
Yeah.
Since when did the Cotton Bowl go with Conference USA and Pac-12?
I think it's I may be wrong. What they do after the CFP chooses their teams, they see what's left, and I want to say they make offers.
Okay.
Of the highest ranked teams available.
That Texas and UW needs to be at that Cotton Bowl, man.
Yep.
In Jerry World.
Yep.
Or Texas UW needs to be at Reliant Stadium at the Texas Bowl.
Yep. Yeah.
Why? How did San Antonio get Texas and UW?
Well, the Alamo Bowl, a lot of people don't know this. They pay well. They pay a lot of money.
They do.
And they on the hierarchy, they're the third. If let's say a Big 12 team doesn't have a team in the CFP,
yeah,
well, they get the second selection after the New Year's Six.
So TCU is out because they're in the playoffs.
Yeah, Kansas State automatically goes to
Sugar Bowl. I mean, winner of the Big 12 went to the Sugar Bowl, and so they get third pick or second pick.
Well, it's technically the best team after the champion.
The best team after the champion.
Yeah. So
TCU was gone. Yeah.
And because of the CFP made it a little deeper.
Yeah.
So that's a good matchup.
It's a good matchup. I just there's better bowls to me out there.
Oh yeah. Cotton, just to correct everybody, it's not played at the Cotton Bowl anymore. It's at Jerry World.
It's at Jerry World.
Weird.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the Sugar Bowl, that ought to be fun. Kansas State and Alabama.
Yeah, that'll be fun to watch.
OU and Florida State are a rematch of the 2000 national championship game in the Cheez-It Bowl.
The Cheez-It Bowl. That's in – is that Carolina?
No, I want to say that's somewhere out west.
No, Atlanta. No.
Cheez-It? It's in Orlando, Florida.
Yeah.
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 But All good games, man. These are it's going to keep us entertained throughout the month, and there's a lot more, but it's just too many of them. There's some of these games where 2,000 people will be there.
Like the Independence Bowl,
dude. Yeah. So the Houston and Louisiana Lafayette will be playing in that one.
Houston and Louisiana Lafayette. I like that.
It's a good matchup for them.
That's a good matchup. You're right, though. It's only going to be like 7 people in the stands.
Yeah. So my buddy, he's a father of the kicker for Houston. He asked me, he said, man, I don't want to stay at any hotels in Shreveport. And we're going to run through Nacogdoches. I said, do you have any? He said, do you have any codes to get a reduction in price at the Fredonia Hotel? And I said, dude, just tell them you're a life member, which you are. They'll hook you up.
Yeah.
And but that's just an hour and 15 minutes away.
Well, if you're going to stay in Shreveport, Bossier, go to Bossier and stay at all casinos. Any of the casinos have nice accommodations. And Margaritaville is fun.
Yeah. That's Shreveport. That's another discussion on another day.
Yeah.
Because we talked about that off camera, and man, it's not as bad as it seems. I've spent a lot of money in Shreveport and during my college years, and I remember every one of them. Yeah,
good.
Stephen, when we come back, we're going to hit up a subject that I really would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on, and it's prime time in Boulder, Colorado, not California. They're lighting them up in Boulder.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, we're back on the other side of this break.
Hi, I'm Stevie Lee, former defensive tackle for the University of Texas.
And I'm Clyde Hargrove. I'm a roofer.
I also saw action in 52 games.
And I fix a lot of roofs.
Also won a Rose Bowl and never lost to A&M.
And I fix a lot of roofs, right, Stevie?
Oh, right. I'm sorry, I zoned out a little bit.
So are you going to say that thing about Hargrove Roofing?
Hargrove Roofing. Know who's on your roof.
Is this even going to work as a commercial?
This is JJ Gotch, CEO of the Austin Gamblers. And segment 2 of Stories Inside the Man Cave is next.
He not only is an absolute great ambassador for sport, he has taken sports, he's taken his venues and used those platforms. I want to be sure that you know where I'm coming from. And it was made buttons pop off my vest, so to speak, when he would talk about how much of a Cowboy fan he was, and he would have made a great tight end. So, and that doesn't change. There's nothing about any of that changes. And I did hear what he had to say.
What's happening?
Stevie, so LeBron James, definite Cowboy fan, but I've got something serious to ask about you because it will bring. I am definitely a white guy. I'm white. Okay. So, and you know my beliefs on race, our history in America, the direction we're going, also what has happened, which bridged us to where we are today. I believe in bridges, but I also am a big believer in let's not forget the history. Let's not erase it. And because so we won't go backwards. So my point is what Jerry Jones is talking about, a picture surfaced of him at his high school when he was in high school at North Little Rock. Desegregation or integration, however you want to call it, they were not allowing the African-American kids to walk in the doors of North Little Rock High School. It's a very powerful image. Jerry Jones did say to the media, that was 65 years ago, he had no idea that he would be there in a moment that would be a significant piece in American history. What I want to ask you, as an African American, highly educated man who really can process, and you're a man of every ethnicity, if you will, of the community. Your thoughts on that, and how should Jerry Jones handle this? I mean, has he done all he can, or are we just roasting him for no reason?
I don't think we're roasting him. I think that it's fair that he gets asked the question.
Correct.
And I think it's fair that we listen to his answer, right? If we don't like his answer, then we move accordingly. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It was a long time ago, but we can't sit up here and say, well, but he gave a lot of black people jobs. Well, he gave black people jobs because he needed them.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, the Dallas Cowboys wouldn't be the Dallas Cowboys if he had all white players.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why college football was integrated. And like, that black kid can run real fast. We need to get us some of those. You know, that's that was segregation. You know what I mean? So, or desegregation, however you want to put it. That was the beginning of desegregation. Is those black kids can really, really go, and they look good in our uniform too. So, but anyway, I don't want to make light of the situation. It is a question that he has to answer.
Right.
Well, he didn't have to answer. It's a question that can be asked to him, and if he wants to answer the question. Now, we're not sitting there we shouldn't be sitting here trying to get an apology out of him. We shouldn't be trying to indict him without him giving his side of the story. But we see you know, and it's up to him to respond. I'm open for debate on everything too. So if anybody wanted to debate me on this, I'm open for it. And but it's a thing that happened in our past, and people like to sweep that under the rug that it was a long time ago. Actually, it wasn't, because those kids that were feeling ridiculed and feeling the brunt of people shouting them down are still around, because now we know one of the people that was shouting them down is someone we know. You know what I mean? So those feelings don't go away.
A white person has no ties to it because of what you stated, the feelings, the heart. African American or Black American can, because they felt that either by family or somebody, situations like that. That's all I'm trying to bring awareness to.
And also, it's not even just family though, Sean, because we know that they didn't want them in their school because they were Black.
Yeah.
I'm Black, right? So if I was born, 65 years prior, then I would have been in that same situation. Not because I was their family member, not because I was their best friends, simply because I was Black and I looked like them, or I had the same skin tone as them, right? And so I know a lot of people like to think, and this is a huge subject for me. I actually love the debate and to talk about it, but a lot of people think that Black people in this country are a monolith. Like, we all think like we're not. We're not. So we have conservative Blacks, we have liberal Blacks, we have from all the way from conservative all the way down to ultra liberal and ultra conservative Blacks. So it's a monolith. We're not a monolith, right?
Glad you said that. When I hear, especially on the political landscape, when I hear so-and-so needs the Black vote.
Yeah.
Did you just group one race and say that they all think the same? They're going to go with each other.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that is irritated me for 24 years at least. 24.
I'm glad you got it off your chest tonight.
Man, it feels good. It just like, man, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
That's because it's not right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's I mean, look at Herschel Walker. I do not agree with anything he says. Just because they're just propping him up so he can I don't know what they're trying to do. But his debates are just terrible. I don't think that he would represent anybody in Congress. Anybody.
No.
He would just be a puppet on strings for me.
Certain people really need to not speak in front of the public.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, I hear you.
Ever.
I hear you.
Brother,
So,
interesting times about to happen in Boulder, Colorado. It's been a quick ascension. Prime time. Deion Sanders wanted to bring positive attention to HBCU's Jackson State for 3 years. I think it's 3. Did a phenomenal job. 2 or 3. Well, Rob J., a reporter who's funny as hell, he has developed a great relationship with Deion Sanders. Deion cooks him most of the time in the interviews with just sarcasm. So the rumor this week was building, and it grew some significant legs, and it's true. So Rob J. was kind of wanting to find out if he is going to ride with him to Colorado, and he did it this way.
You know, my favorite team is the Kansas City Chiefs, right?
Yeah.
Next week they play the Denver Broncos in Colorado. I'm going with you, and we gonna ride together.
That's good. That's good. That's good. That's a good. Now that's a good one. That's a good one. Now I gotta admit, now that's a good one.
Bronco in Colorado, Denver, Colorado.
What you trying to say?
I just want to know. Can we ride together?
Where am I going?
What do you think? Well,
you know what that looks like? It looks like 2 uncles at Thanksgiving dinner just joshing each other. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
Oh God! And this was last night. I already got him photoshopped. It's a good look. Colorado black and gold. I think he's gonna do great things there. You wouldn't think, but Colorado, they've been there before.
Yeah,
it's just it's a very liberal area, but the program it's a beautiful area. That's all I got to say.
I remember Mad Dog telling us stories about Colorado because he was at Colorado before he went to Coach Brown in North Carolina.
Yeah,
and did he win the national championship there
in at Colorado?
Yeah, when was that?
Colorado shared the national title in 1990.
I think Mad Dog was there at the time.
That time? Okay.
Yeah. And I think he was there. Who won that Heisman there?
It wasn't Darian Hagan. Oh, the running back. Salam.
I don't know when he was there then.
But they had kids from Texas on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, and but I remember Mad Dog talking about Colorado. That he loved Colorado, the Buffs, and I actually loved playing up there. That was my first time. My little story about Colorado. We stayed in. I don't know where we stayed as a team. We know when Colorado was in the Big 12.
Yeah.
We stayed up there, and they put us up in a Westin hotel. And that was my first time ever sleeping in the heavenly bed in the Westin. And I tell you, man, I did not want to leave. They had a menu beside the bed that you can buy the sheets, the mattress, everything, and have it shipped to your house. The mattress was like $5,000 by itself. So, I wasn't getting it. Right. So, but I woke up that morning. We had to go down for breakfast, and I opened my curtains in my room, and there was snow-capped mountains in the distance. It's just a beautiful place to be. And if Colorado, if Primetime called me today and offered me a job there to just sweep up the hallways, you know, and paying me, you know, close to what I'm getting now.
Yeah.
I'm gone. You know,
Wow.
it's a beautiful, beautiful part of the country up there, man.
I love Boulder.
Yeah.
And today, this thing's moved so quickly. Today was his introduction. Remember, last night he was coaching Jackson State in the SWAC championship.
Mm-hmm.
Today he was in Boulder for the press conference, and he was asked if a certain reporter was coming with him.
Since you're in Colorado now, is Rob J going to be able to roll with you to the Broncos game?
Oh my God! If I tell Rob J that, he tried to sneak on the plane. Trust me. Yeah, there's quite a few people trying to sneak on the plane. Honestly, let me tell you something about the hearts of these men. They suggested that some type of way we involve Jackson State in students or something to uplift and promote and provide a mean and a way of greater understanding. I'm trying to put that as politely as possible. But that's the character of these men and these people here at this wonderful institution.
That's good stuff. I haven't heard that, man.
That, to me,
That's
can
good
be
stuff.
interpreted many ways. I think he knows that's there was it to me. Well, how do you interpret that? Because I felt like it's nothing but positive. The university's being smart. We're taking away somebody who put them on a level they'd never been.
Right. And so
recently,
the university or the athletic program, probably the way I look at it, was trying to see if they can give out some resources to help Jackson State, or to thank Jackson State for grooming. Thank you for grooming our next head coach to what he is today, and that's why we had to go and get him. But thank you for giving him the platform. Thank you for allowing him to do his thing there. And I don't see anything wrong with that, actually. That actually should be the norm. We know HBCUs are not at the level that what is FBS? FBS is. Yeah. We know that they don't get the money, the TV contract money, like college football or big-time college football, D1 college football. So to try to give back is important. And you don't want to it's just like replenishing the land whenever you pull a crop, right? Because you want that land to be fruitful again. You know, so that's good for Colorado to even have that in them, if that's indeed what they did. You know,
that's what we're going to go to. We're going to wrap things up with the TikTok and the man cave, and that's all I got to say about this. This is going to be a quick one. This guy ain't wrong.
Holy Moses on a rocket powered pogo stick. That colored legging should be illegal.
That's my guy. I follow him.
Oh my God.
Listen, I thought the same thing.
I was like,
yeah.
I got to zoom in a little bit.
Yeah, right. Illegal. It's funny.
Illegal in 4 counties.
Yeah.
God, he was definitely proud. Showed his Crimson Tide and heavy hearts toward not making the CFP in Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Yeah.
Hey, man, tell me something good.
Stevie Lee, as we wrap this up episode, this is the 16th episode of the Pass Rush with you. I've enjoyed every one of them. And the 208th overall episode of Stories Inside the Man Cave.
Awesome.
Man, you always come up with positivity. What can you share with me and the masses here tonight?
Well, from City Center of Austin, Texas, You got about an hour drive to hit the city center of San Antonio to watch the Longhorn play at the Alamo Dome. What is that, December 28th?
I think it's 29th, maybe?
29th.
Yeah. So
you're pretty close to go watch your Longhorns if you're here in Austin, Texas. So that's something good, man. And to recap the season, listen, everyone is like, they find out that I played in the early 2000s, 2000 to 2004, and they're like, oh, those are good years. Yeah, we did have good years because we had 9-win seasons. They call the 9-win seasons good years. Well, people are kind of walking around here like disappointed in this season.
No, it wasn't.
Listen, we got a chance to be a 9-win season this year. We're 8-3 right now, 8-4? 8-4 right now.
9-4.
We can go 9-4, and that's decent, guys. We're on our way up. It's pretty good. So we're knocking at the door. We did not make the Big 12 championship game. Correct. You're right. We were our number one running back had a fumble against Texas Tech. If we don't fumble that and pull that game out, we're in the Big 12 championship. Somehow, we're a step closer. So we had a couple of unfortunate plays this year to not be in the Big 12 championship. And if we're in the Big 12 championship at TCU, we would have win or lose, we would have been in the Sugar Bowl. Right? So we're a bounce pass, drop pass, a fumble away from being in the Sugar Bowl. And I feel really good about that. That's something good.
Marked improvement. That is great, not just
Absolutely.
Good. And I'll tell you something really good real quick. So the month of December, press your reset. Let go of your anger and go enjoy what's around you. I swear, you may live in the most podunk community in America, but if you look around, things aren't as bad as they seem. Or if you're going through a hard time right now, get off of social media, go look around and dig for opportunities. Nature's out there, man. Nature's calling you. But, man, if you're here, and I will say, engage in college football, the bowl season, regardless. There's some awful bowl games out there, and there'd be like 3 or 4 people attending them. But they're absolutely fun. You learn about some stories. You learn about programs that you never heard of. And these bowl games do wonders for these programs as far as recruiting, the lifeblood. It's fun to watch. It's fun to watch. And jump on board with Tess and I on Tuesdays at Tess because we're going to continue our competition and predictions. I'm up by 3 games on her. I haven't looked at what we did this past weekend, but we're going to continue it through the bowl games. And Stevie Lee and I, we need to schedule our holiday lunch or something like that with Coach Ab. Hargrove Roofing with Coach Ab.
Yep.
Let's do it, brother.
Let's do it.
Tell your family hello. Lovely. You're lovely. He's a girl dad, does a heck of a job investing a lot of time and all those lovely ladies under his roof. So to Stevie Lee's beautiful family and his OGs in Shreveport, Louisiana, and the Hargroves and the OG Man Cave boys. That'd be Big Mike, Coach Mo, and Hardball Harge. We are out. And this thing is moving slowly.